Hi, grade 8. So, this is your very first lesson in English 8. And this will cover extracting meaning through context clues. Of course, we do not always have a dictionary on hand, and that is why we need to use the other words in a sentence so that we will be able to extract or define the meaning of an unfamiliar word. So, without further ado, let us have the very first key question here, and that has something to do with what really are context clues. Of course, Google or your search will say that context clues are clues or hints that are put inside or maybe in another sentence that aims to unlock the meaning of the word that you um, want to unlock. So it could appear within the same sentence as the word to which it refers, or it may actually follow in a preceding sentence. So for the benefit of this lesson, we will be tackling about 6 different types of context clues. So without further ado, let's have the first one. Of course, this is the most common type of context clue, and that is called definition or restatement, in which the word in the sentence is actually given an actual definition, which usually comes after the word being defined. For example, let us take the word duplicity. So in a sentence, it says here, Nard's duplicity, crafty dishonesty, caused him to steal his classmate's wallet. So in this sentence, the word to be unlocked is duplicity. So the actual context clue or the definition or restatement comes right after the word duplicity, which is, you're right, it's actually crafty dishonesty. And it is marked by the comma that comes after the word being defined. So that is it for the first type of context clue, which is again definition or restatement. On to the next one. Let us see if you have guessed what the next is. Of course, if there's a definition, you can also use another tactic, which is the synonym, which means that it's a context clue that provides a similar word to explain its meaning. Now, we will still use the word duplicity here, and this time let's have another sentence. The teacher punished Nard for his duplicity or deceitfulness after discovering what he did. As you can see here, the word duplicity is defined with its synonym, which is, yes, you guessed it right, it's deceitfulness. It is now marked by the word or, meaning this type of context clue tells us that the word duplicity and deceitfulness are both of the same meaning, thus synonym. Okay, and what is very remarkable about a synonym type of context clue is that it doesn't really have to be a simple or familiar word. Okay, because not everyone may be, okay, I'm not sure about that, but not everyone knows about the word deceitfulness. However, it's being used as a synonym to the word duplicity. So that's the second type of context clue. You provide the synonym instead of the definition. And up next, if there's a synonym, of course, you can also define a word by not really defining it. How is that? It's the antonym or contrast type of context clue, meaning you provide the exact opposite of the word given. Okay? So again, let us contextualize this type of context clue using duplicity once more. Unlike his brother, who had integrity to spare, Nard has nothing more than duplicity, and he will be suspended for 2 days. Let me just move a bit here. Okay, that's better. So the word duplicity here is being not unlocked. In what way? Because the author here or the writer used another or the opposite of the word duplicity, and that is had integrity to spare. Meaning, if you have no integrity to spare, that means you have duplicity. Okay? And the exact opposite of duplicity is having integrity to spare, meaning you have the integrity. So if you do not have the integrity, you have duplicity. Can you get the point? So it's defining the word by giving its opposite. Okay? Up next, let's see. What do you think are the next types of context clues? We are on to our top 3. Let's have number 4. The fourth one is, of course, if you cannot really define the word, let me just give an example. The word is provided with an example to illustrate its meaning. So, let's still continue the story of Nard. Nard's duplicity included. Okay? Included. There's a list of examples. Duplicity could mean copying answers in the final exams, passing project not originally owned by him, aside from stealing his classmate's wallet. This time, if you really cannot define the word duplicity, just give examples. So, copying answers in the exams, passing the project that is not originally owned by him. So this time you are giving your audience some examples that would illustrate what duplicity means. And, well, that's easier to understand this time. Okay? Apart from example, we also have, let's see what I think is the fifth one. Of course, we have explanation. Somehow, examples and explanations can be the same, but let us try to draw the difference. Nard is so deceitful, okay, that he cleverly keeps up to his dishonest and mischievous tricks in school. So this time, as you can see, the word deceitful is being used, which is the, well, just like what we have discussed earlier, the synonym of duplicity. He cleverly keeps up to his dishonest and mischievous tricks in school. But please notice, what's the difference? The explanation is actually introduced by the word that. Okay? So, the word that introduces an explanation to the word deceitful. And so, the context clue here is from he cleverly keeps up to his dishonest and mischievous tricks in school. And also, if it's an explanation, of course, we will just draw one scenario. But in the example, of course, you have to provide a lot of things there, okay, that would illustrate the meaning. On to our very last type of context clue, of course. This one is a bit, if I may just say, complex, but let us try to understand here. I used another familiar. This is familiar to you, probably, but not for some. The last one is called the root words and affixes type of context clue, meaning it's a type of context clue that is extracting through the meanings of root words, prefixes, and suffixes. So the problem here is if you do not know what those affixes mean. Let's try to unlock the word kleptomania. People who have kleptomania are not afraid of stealing anything they like. So the word being unlocked here is kleptomania. So the suffix here is mania, which actually means if there's a mania, there's a craze or like, okay? That means it's already in the sentence that mania is like and klepto could actually mean stealing, okay? Meaning we have to make use of the root words and even their affixes. For example, another example is on. If you attach the prefix on to another word, it actually means not. undying. My undying love for you will always be here to stay. So undying, un means not, plus dying, so that means not dying. So root words and affixes context clue actually works just like that. So there you go. Those are your 6 types of context clues. So please proceed to the next section and try to push your luck. And let's see if you can answer the next few questions there in your Google Forms.